At this hour, a lot of people asking questions. Scandal at the Wounded Warriors Project, and the charity CEO and Chief Operating Officer are now out of jobs. The two fired over complaints from employees and an expose that revealed upper-level management spent millions of dollars on staff retreats, and that was money that was supposed to go toward helping paralyzed veterans. The Wounded Warriors Project raised $800 million over the last 4 years, but an investigative report has found that the charity spent up to 50% on, quote, overhead. Well, that overhead turned out to be extravagant parties, salaries topping out at $500,000 apiece, and grand entrances at luxury resorts. Jeff Block standing by in Chicago to tell us now what comes next for the Wounded Warrior Project. Jeff?
Well, they need to come up with a new leader, and Liz, there's some sense that it may be a guy by the name of Tony Odierno. And if you know that name, not only is Mr. Odierno a wounded warrior himself, but his father, General Ray Odierno, used to be the head, the Army Chief of Staff. So that's maybe what's next. But in the short term, they are out a CEO and a COO today. They are Stephen Nardizzi and Al Giordano, the COO. Mr. Nardizzi kind of noted for well, somewhat flamboyant spending, and a lot of money, as you point out, spent on things like conferences, just millions of dollars spent instead of on wounded warriors. Take a look at what the overhead was. And Liz, I know you know this issue well because you're personally involved with a charity very similar to Wounded Warriors. A good charity spends maybe 90% of its money on the programs to do with the charity. This organization spent about 40 or 50% by many accounts. And according to Charity Navigator, which does a pretty good job of rating these things, the most efficient charities spend 75% more of their budget on their programs, less than 25% on fundraising and administrative fees. And you see what these numbers stacked up to be. It's just, I know it pains you maybe more than a lot of people is because of your personal involvement with this, but it's sad to see.
Well, it's frustrating. You know, the charity I work with, buildinghomesforheroes.org, 95% of the money goes toward the veterans. Wow. We only have about a 5 or 6% overhead. It's unbelievable.
That's better than most.
You can't be doing that. You can't be taking from our vets. Jeff, thank you very much.